think let's be clear. Donald Trump is a complete moron. Donald Trump talks so much about waste and fraud, and you're signing a whole executive order banning trans women from playing sports. According to the NCAA, there are over 510,000 athletes. And within those athletes, there are only less than 10 trans athletes. So you mean to tell me Donald Trump signed an executive order for 0.002 of the population when trans people are only 1%?
Guys, this is Piers Morgan, and this gets on Trump's signing the new trans law, banning trans.
That's a waste. That is a waste.
In sports.
Trans people exist. There are more than two sexes. There are intersex people that exist. And I think that it's nothing more than conservative propaganda that because Donald Trump is in power, he is able to use. I think Donald Trump should stop booty clapping to Elon Musk and get something done in this country. And eradicating trans people is not going to be it. And I stand 10 toes down on that.
What do you guys think about the ban on trans in sports, guys? What do you guys think? I think 10 out of whatever amount of people are in there are getting banned. What do you guys think? Comment down below and like the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay, so
I'll say very briefly, it's this argument that it's a small percentage of the population. I hope you realize it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not for every one male that's participating in a women's sport, it's one woman that's affected. In my sport, at our national championships, one male displaced 14,000 women. And I can speak for myself, I can speak for my teammates, I can speak for 99% of other female competitors on that pool deck. We all felt betrayed. We all felt violated in the locker room. We all felt it was unfair, but not enough people were courageous enough to say it because they were terrified. They were terrified of the name calling that you just pursued. Even, I mean, the first thing you say is Donald Trump is a moron. What 20-year-old girl wants to be called transphobic or any of the slurs that have been thrown my way? I can certainly attest to. Piers mentioned
Riley, I think you're trying to, Riley, I think you're just trying to make it seem like that trans people are a threat to cis women in the restroom, and that's not the case. Trans women and cis women should be coming together. Trans women are not a threat to cis women.
Okay, but here's the look. But Blossom.
And I think that y'all have ran on that ideology.
Yeah, Blossom.
Y'all have ran on that ideology
Blossom,
for a very long time.
hang on.
And you're going to have to specifically tell me cases.
Blossom,
can you specifically tell me cases of where trans women have hurt cis women in the restroom?
Blossom,
I'd like to know that,
Blossom,
please.
we don't use words like cis on here because no one understands it. Let's just...
well, I use cisgender, so that's where
I'm sure you do, but nobody...
I like to use that in my vocabulary.
Yeah, but nobody else understands it. Let's just stick to my question. My question for you, which you have...
just because you don't understand, you just don't have the intellectual capacity, Piers. You don't have the intellectual capacity to understand the terminology that I'm using.
Blossom, just to explain something. You're appearing on a show called Piers Morgan Uncensored. That means you can say whatever you want.
I know all about you, Piers.
Okay, you can think.
And I know how you're good at race baiting. I know how you're good at being transphobic, and that's why I'm here to face you.
Just to be clear,
guys,
one-on-one.
Guys, this is gonna get good. You guys do not want to miss this. Make sure you guys continue watching. It's gonna get good.
When do you think I've ever race baited?
Honey, you remember that whole incident with Sharon Osbourne?
Yes.
Let's not forget.
Oh, I do. I do.
But we're not here to talk about Miss Sharon Osbourne.
No. What do you think happened there?
We're not here to talk about Miss Sharon Osbourne.
Yes,
we're here to talk about trans people in sports.
Hang on. You've raised...
You are notorious.
Okay, wait a minute. Piers, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about the Sharon Osbourne thing.
Racist,
let me tell you what. Since you've raised it,
I'm a black trans woman.
Blossom, stop talking for a moment.
You cut me off so many times since I've been here.
Okay,
but
Blossom,
Riley, you give
can we have a conversation, please?
You give the white girl all the time to talk.
Can we have a conversation, please?
And the black girl is having to speak.
Actually, at the moment, the black girl is doing all the talking. So hang on. Can I just say something, please?
That's my opinion.
All right.
That's my view.
Blossom, stop talking. Just to remind people and you and educate you about what happened. I was removed from my job hosting a morning show in Britain called Good Morning Britain because I disbelieved Meghan Markle's claims of racism against the royal family. Okay? I never said a racist...
Why? Hang on. Why. She's a black
Let me finish. I never said a racist thing about anybody, least of all Meghan Markle. I've never invoked her skin colour. In fact, on the day she got married to Prince Harry, I wrote a front-page story in a national newspaper in this country in which I extolled the glorious moment we finally had a biracial wedding in our otherwise all-white royal family. You might be bored but I'm going to address your allegation.
Okay,
that hang
Piers,
on.
you're
I
doing
haven't
all this
finished. I haven't
talking,
finished.
but I'm here to
I
talk
haven't
about trans
finished,
women in
Blossom.
sports,
Let me
okay?
finish. Let me just educate
Okay.
you.
Well, I didn't get to finish.
Let me just
either, Piers.
educate you with some
You don't get to
facts.
disrespect a
You've
black
called me a
trans woman.
race
Do not
baiter.
interrupt a black
You've
trans
called me a
woman when
race.
she's speaking,
Please
okay?
stop talking. You've called me a race baiter.
Allegedly.
Hang on.
Alleged race
Hang on.
baiter.
And you. Right. So let me finish. So what happened then was Sharon Osbourne, who was on a show called The Talk on CBS, now sadly no longer there because they got rid of Sharon. And guess what? Nobody wanted to watch it. And Cheryl Underwood, a black woman on that panel, set up Sharon Osbourne in the most despicable manner imaginable. And she said to Sharon Osbourne, "Why did you support Piers Morgan when he said those racist things?"
Of course you would
And Sharon
think a black
Osbourne,
woman is
hang
doing
on,
things
you
despicably.
can respond when I
Of
finish.
Shut up, you woke lady. He's trying to finish. Let the man finish.
Just
You
telling
would
you
think
what
a
happened.
black woman
You
is
can
despicable.
respond when
You are
I tell you
disgusting,
what
Piers.
happened.
I just want you to know you are
Blossom,
a disgusting
you can respond.
white cis man.
You can respond when I finished telling you what happened. And you can challenge me on facts.
Go ahead.
What you can't challenge me is something you've seen on TikTok. So let me finish. So Sharon Osbourne was told, why did...
TikTok. Nobody said that on TikTok.
Someone's-
It was all over the news here in America. Piers.
Cheryl
What are you
Underwood.
talking about?
Cheryl Underwood said to Sharon Osbourne,
We're here to talk about trans
okay, if you're going to keep talking, I'll mute
sports.
you. I will mute you, but don't let me mute you. Let me just finish. Then you can respond. Cheryl Underwood said, "Why did you support Piers Morgan when he said those racist things?" Sharon said, "What racist things?" And as a result of that, by getting annoyed that she was being set up to try and supposedly defend her friend me in saying racist things I'd never said, Sharon got fired from The Talk. And she was left suicidal in the year that followed. That her whole career was sent down the drain because, ironically, the race baiter was actually the black woman on that panel, Cheryl Underwood, not Sharon Osbourne, and not me. So I'm very glad you raised the issue of race baiting. But let's be clear, as you're doing now, the race baiting came from Cheryl Underwood to Sharon Osbourne, and it's now coming from you. So now you can respond.
Cannot be racist, Piers.
Now you can
Black
respond.
women cannot be racist to white women. Are you kidding me?
Sorry?
That makes no sense.
Sorry?
Black women cannot be racist to white women. Do you not understand that?
Oh, yes,
I
they can.
understand
Yes, they sure can. What is this woman speaking about? What is Blossom speaking about, man? Oh my god. This lady is dumb. She is woke.
you don't have the intellectual
Oh, yes, they
capacity
can.
to understand that.
Oh, yes,
but
they
that's
can.
Very much
And you've been
impossible.
racist to me.
That's very much
You've been
impossible.
racist to me, a white man, by saying I'm a race baiter. Yeah.
How am I racist to you? I'm black. I can't be racist
You
to
call
you.
me a race
Are you
baiter
kidding
with
me?
no
You're
evidence.
Racist to me.
When have I
You
been
can
a
be
race
racist-
baiter?
You can be racist to me.
When have I been a race baiter?
But I'm a powerhouse.
Tell me when I've been a race
I'm a
baiter.
powerhouse.
Well, you may be a
Piers,
powerhouse.
Understand something.
You may be a
I'm
powerhouse. You may be a powerhouse.
Okay.
When have I been a race baiter?
I want you to admit that.
When have
okay.
I been a race baiter?
Okay.
When have I been a race baiter?
Okay.
This is absurd.
No, hang on. Tell me,
Honey.
Blossom.
Absurd.
Give me one example of me race baiting. Blossom, go.
I'm here. At this point, I'm just here to talk about trans women in sports. I said what I said.
So you don't have
and I
anything,
to
do you?
Repeat anything.
You called me a race baiter, but you have no evidence I've ever race baited. You admit it.
Do you believe African Americans are
talking about.
superior to?
Let's move forward.
Fascinating. Like so many people, you play that race card and you can't defend it. You can't support
Oh.
it. There is
Well,
no
it's
evidence.
Guys, have you guys ever been in a position where they play the race card and can't defend it? I know I have, guys. And this is exactly what's happening here.
It's not. Hold on. Let me check you on that. Let me check you on that. You talk about this race card or whatnot. The race card is reality. My experience as a black trans woman is completely
Reality.
different than yours.
That is
Reality?
so
As a white
bold
cis
of you
man.
to
Well, let me
say.
ask you about
Really,
reality
I'm
then.
speaking. Do not interrupt a black trans woman when I'm speaking.
Oh, don't be so
Do not interrupt a
pathetic.
black trans woman when I'm
Reality.
speaking.
Reality.
Okay.
Remember that,
Riley
Piers.
sits with so much
Remember
privilege as a
talking
So
white
you can
woman that she
interrupt
can
me
go
for the last
around
10
looking
minutes.
like a halfback
So just to be
Tommy
clear,
Lauren.
just to be clear,
Right.
hang on.
Like Tommy
Just to be
Lauren,
clear, Blossom.
crying white tears about trans
All
women
right, just
playing
can you
in
mute
sports.
Blossom for
You
a
wanna talk
moment,
about-
please? Thank you.
realize you're making
hang on,
all
Riley. Hang on, Riley.
transgender
Hang on, Riley.
that,
So to make the
right?
point that Blossom has just literally interrupted me for 10 consecutive minutes without pausing breath. But the moment Riley has the audacity to interrupt Blossom, oh, guess what? That's the moment that the black transgender woman decides this is outrageous. Okay, you can unmute her now.
This feels
Do
like
not
an
gaslight
SNL.
Piers.
This feels like an SNL skit.
It does.
Okay.
It's preposterous.
Piers, I just want you to remember that Blossom said what her basis and perspective of life is rooted in reality. So please remember that as we continue this conversation.
Which brings me to
forward.
my question, which you haven't answered, Blossom, which is why do we separate the sexes in the Olympics?
Here's the thing. I'm not an Olympian.
Oh,
I don't play sports.
you don't know why we separate
I
the
think
sexes?
what you're saying is conservative propaganda. I think what you're
Propaganda?
saying is conservative propaganda.
Conservative
It's propaganda, and that you're able
I
to
asked you
play
why
off
we
of it,
separate.
Piers.
I asked you why we
create
separate
a
the sexes.
platform
Maybe frame it
off
like
of
this.
that.
Why do we separate the
Why do we have
sexes?
this?
Again,
Why do we have the
again, when we
Olympics
talk
versus
about trans
Paralympics?
people, when we talk about trans people, we're talking about gender identity. I need both of y'all mindset to become more expansive.
Right.
I know that's a little hard for
Can you
both
answer
of
my
you.
question?
Because both of you have
Can you
the brains
answer
of a
my
peanut.
question?
I understand that's hard for both of y'all.
Can you
Or
answer my
I should say
question?
a seed.
Can you answer my question?
Again, when we talk about trans people, we're talking about gender identity. We're not just
That's
focused
not my
on
question.
sex.
That's not my
think that
question.
what y'all like to do is reduce conversations down
No.
to sex.
What
and
you all
genitalia,
like to do-
and you try to apply it to what's happening
Okay.
in the Olympics. Okay.
Okay. And
Trans
I'm asking
women
you a
should
very-
play in
and
sports.
I'm asking
trans
you-
women should participate in
The Olympics, the
And
next
I
Olympics,
think
the
what
next
you're
Olympics.
doing
Okay, Blossom.
is spreading misinformation.
Blossom, I
and
don't wanna
you
have to
are
mute you
spreading
again.
Conservative propaganda
Okay.
that should not be.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know the answer? Oh, Riley's got a hand up.
Oh,
Riley,
me
I don't
Riley,
know.
why don't you
Why
educate?
why don't you
educate
tell me the
Blossom?
answer since I don't know.
Riley, why do we separate the sexes in the Olympics?
Because men and women are different. We have different physical ceilings. It's the same reason why you have any category. It's the same reason why we have the Paralympics versus the Olympics. It's the same reason why we have weight classes in boxing. We don't have weight classes in boxing because we are fat shaming people who weigh more. No, we have weight classes because it would be unfair. We know the outcome. Every single person, kindergartners, know the outcome of what would happen if we had a 220-pound man fight a 170-pound man. It's the same reason why we have age divisions. We don't have 12 and unders or
She
Pee
doesn't
Wee
know
leagues.
that. What if that
18
220 pound wait, what if that 170 pound man has the agility to beat that 220 pound man? That makes
So
no
you
sense.
wanna base all of
I'm
the
so
Olympics off
sorry.
of exceptions.
Your answer makes
Off of
no
exceptions.
sense. That makes no sense.
Blossom,
Y'all don't know
bottom
anything
line, it
about
doesn't make
somebody's
sense to you.
biochemistry.
It makes
Somebody's
sense
biology
to
you do not know.
99% of common
You do
sense.
not
Actually,
It's common sense, guys. It is common sense. Like how Riley was explaining that's why there's boxing tiers. You know, there's middle class, there's middleweight, lightweight, heavyweight. It's all going to be separated because it's common sense. You don't want to put a lightweight with a heavyweight. You're not going to put a 120-pound fighter against a 250-pound fighter. It doesn't make sense. It won't make sense to do that. The same way with this whole trans and sports and whatnot in the Olympics. It doesn't make sense to put them in there. It's not fair for women to be competing against a trans gender person that was a man before and turned into a woman.
No, Riley, I'm
100% of
sorry.
common
You
sense
absolutely
and
do not know about somebody's biology.
you just admitted you're not an
Everybody's
athlete.
chemistry
You
is made
admitted that
differently.
you have never competed at the highest
Genetics,
level.
and see, this is the thing. I don't have to be an athlete to talk about this because this affects
Well, you
my
just said you couldn't
community
answer
I am
because you're not an
trans.
Olympian.
All right, you know what we're going to
Trans
try?
people
Why don't we
are
try?
athletes.
Okay.
We should be
You're not
talking about
Olympian.
Chris
Can we please
Mosier.
stop
We should be
talking at the
reaching out
same
to
time?
Skylar Baylor.
If you
We should
talk
be
at the
reaching
same
out
time,
to
Blossom.
Hofer.
If you
There are
talk,
many
if
people.
you
I
talk,
just gave you a list of
Blossom. If you talk
just
at the
gave you a
same
list of
time,
people.
nobody can hear either of you. Okay? So, Blossom, let's start with you again. A simple question. I'll tell you why they separate the sexes, just as Riley has. It's because men have a physical advantage over women,
Correct.
which would mean that women would
Correct.
not win more than a handful of medals in the entire Olympics. Would you be happy if it was a gender-neutral Olympics?
Why are we?
Hang
Nope.
on.
She
Answer
wouldn't be
my
happy.
question.
About women, though.
Answer my
Women are
question.
just as strong as men.
I'm asking
sorry.
you,
I'm
would-
sorry. Women are just as strong as men.
So
Women
just to
are
be
just
clear-
as powerful
Okay.
as men.
Okay.
And I don't believe that.
Okay, Blossom.
That's just your opinion.
So,
That's
Blossom.
not always fact.
Blossom, if the world #1 tennis player...
I don't buy it.
Okay, you know that Serena Williams admits that she would be beaten by the top 1,000 men in the world at tennis, right? You know that, do you?
No, I did not.
You did not know that. So,
Okay, where's the?
So
can
you
show
don't
me
know
the
that.
receipts? Can
You don't know
show-
why
yes,
men and women
excuse
get
me, can y'all
separated
show me the
Olympics?
receipts?
I have the
would like to
receipts right
read
here.
those receipts.
Both Serena and Venus Williams lost
Are you
in a
waving them?
blowout.
Are you waving them around?
What?
You can
Okay.
look it up to the 203rd ranked male player. He drank in between sets, smoked in between sets, and played 18 holes of golf before, and admitted that he played like a 600 male ranked player. And they lost in a blowout, and they are phenoms, the best of the best. No other woman for a while even could come close to them, and they got beat by a man. Let me repeat, in a blowout, the 203rd ranked male player who admitted he played like a 600 ranked
Girl,
player,
bye.
drank, smoked between sets, and played 18 holes of golf.
Blossom, just to be clear, would you want the American Olympics, the LA Olympics, would you want them to be gender neutral, where the sexes compete with each other?
Absolutely, I don't see anything wrong with it. I
Okay,
think long as
and do
it's
you also
inclusive
believe-
of
It's
trans
completely
women and
insane.
trans men and non-binary
Do you
people,
also believe
then yes,
that we should
why not?
combine
It's
the
completely
pair- Do you also
insane.
believe-
This country was built on diversity.
Guys, so basically Blossom thinks that it's okay to have them competing in the same thing, men and women. That's going to be a fair game. Do you guys think it's going to be a fair game? Comment down below what you guys think about that.